Up next is something I can't believe happened on eBay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lucas, and I want to thank you all for clicking on my video today. It is Sunday, March 1st, and I kicked off the month pretty well. I had 10 total sales today. One hasn't paid yet, but adding all of them up, including the one that didn't pay, was $144 in sales, and I'm going to pull them, so I'll show you what I sold. But first we're going down to the board games. Didn't sell Vampire Hunter, but we did sell the Simpsons Monopoly game. I paid $2 for this at a yard sale last summer. I've had it listed for a while. I canceled the listing and relisted it at $19.94 free ship, and somebody sent me an offer of $16.50 free ship, and I took it. Also note, these are 3 orders that you saw at the end of my last video. I uploaded that this morning, and I haven't got around to packing these up yet, so they're on the to-do list as well. Hopping into the Star Wars tote, but we're not getting something Star Wars related. Listed this, it sold really fast. This is a Star Trek Mr. Spock Ben Cooper Halloween costume, and it sold for $14.94 free ship. It was an accident. I meant to put $14.94 plus shipping, but what are you going to do? I can't go back and fix that now. Alright, up next we're grabbing a video game. Should be on this side. There it is. I'm just blind. So this PS2 game of Mega Man Anniversary Collection, and it sold for $8 with free shipping. Move this back out of the way, and we're heading back to the board games. No, we didn't sell Vampire Hunter. No, we didn't sell Lego Creator. But yes, we did sell Game of Thrones Risk. And this sold for full asking price of $24.94 plus shipping. Staying back in this corner, I sold a Harley Davidson shot glass. Just gotta find the right one. I believe it's... Ew, this is dangerous. I believe it's this one. Yep, it's this one. This is a Smith Brothers Harley Davidson shop out of Blountville, Tennessee. And this sold for $9.94 free shipping. I paid $8.86 for all the shot glasses, and this is the first one to sell. Put this back in the corner. And next up, we sold... How can I grab it here? Didn't really think this one through. Come on. Oh, don't drop it. The dang whammy bar. He's done it. We sold the Motley Crue Guitar Hero guitar. I paid $6 for this at a Goodwill, and it sold for full asking price of $49.94 plus shipping on top. The last thing I sold, which hasn't been paid for yet, so I'm not going to pack it up yet, is the Sail the Lost Sea and Tennessee pennant, and it sold for $20 with free shipping. So I'm in the middle of packing up my stuff here, and I got to the Guitar Hero guitar, and I had some reselling YouTube videos on in the background, and I thought this was funnily timed. A lot of Josh's video has come up, and he's actually packing up a Guitar Hero guitar too. And what he does is he uses 2 1095 boxes.
What you're going to do, what I like to do, I like to compress the corners here. So it makes it easier to sandwich the boxes together. And sometimes, as you're sandwiching it, this box just completely gets destroyed and ripped. In those cases, I'll just go ahead and tape the edges that are ripped. And just push it in. This is about as far as I can go. But you just push the boxes together. And let me show you guys. So I pushed the boxes together. So the Guitar Hero, this is pretty much as far as I can sandwich them. As I was saying, sometimes the box just rips like this.
So I used to use 2 1095 boxes too, and then I realized while I was browsing through the USPS website for my boxes, the 1095, and then there's also another one, a 1092. The 1095 measures 12 by 3 by 15. The 1092 measures 12 by 2.75 by 13. And what actually happens here, let me set up the camera. Really hope this is a good angle. So what I do is I take the 1095 and I slide the Guitar Hero guitar into it. And then the 1092, instead of having to cram them together, the 1092 fits a little better in there. He says as he struggles. There we go. It slides in there a little better, and I've got it all the way down up against the edge. So it goes in there, and then you can take the side that has the tape flap on it here, stick it here, wrap your tape around, and then tape up your edges. And I just think that way is a little bit easier. So yeah, and that's what it looks like when it's all wrapped up. Just thought I'd bring that up, that the 1095 and the 1092s fit perfectly inside one another. So just something to keep a thought out for when you're ordering boxes off USPS to get some of the different sizes or whatnot. I hope this doesn't come off rude. I really like a lot of Josh. He's one of my favorite channels to watch. If you're somehow watching my channel and don't know who he is, go check him out. He's a really good channel. Just went full-time, coming out of the military. Really like Josh, so keep making that great content, Josh. Also, my guy, the same thing happens to me every single time. Every single time. All right, I got everything packed up here. The only things I didn't pack up are these 2 board games, and that is because I wrap my board games in brown paper. It's a thicker, heavier paper, and I use that to wrap my board games just because it's a little bit easier, a little bit cheaper in some senses. I don't know, I just find it easier, and I've never had a board game arrive damaged or arrive wet or anything like that since I've done it. The only time I ever really put them in boxes if it sells for more than $40, because then you're getting into a little bit more expensive, a little more precious board games, more collectible maybe, more electronics involved in them or something like that. And basically what I do with those is I do the same thing with the Guitar Hero boxes. I just lay 2 of them out. We'll use The Simpsons here, for example. Lay 2 of them out, put 2 of them together, call it a day. Now, USPS does offer a box called a board game box, conveniently enough. And it is long, has some little game pieces on here. But this goes as a large flat rate box. And most of the time, the board games you're putting in these don't meet the weight that costs the price of the large flat rate box. So the cost of a board game in priority box is somewhere between $7 and $10 most of the time. Game of Thrones Risk is going to be a little different. It's a little meatier, has a lot of pieces to it, a little heavier. So the board game box, though, if you look here, a large flat rate board game box costs $18.30 commercial. So if you're buying your label off eBay or Pirate Ship, you're going to be paying around that $18.30 mark. If you take your stuff into the post office, it's going to cost you $21.10 just to use the large flat rate board game box. So it's almost double the price, and it just doesn't work. I have a few on hand just in case. The only time I've ever used the board game boxes was I had one guy buy a bunch of the Star Wars stuff when I first picked it up, and it was just a lot, and the only box I could fit all of it in at once was going to cost like $50 to ship out or something like that. So I split it up amongst 2 large flat rate board game boxes, and it cost $36 after I combined them together. So it saved me about $14 to use them that way. And even then, there were definitely other ways that I could have done it. That was just the easiest, most convenient way, and that's the only reason I paid the little extra money. So yeah, consider wrapping your board games in paper and saving you a little bit of time, or combining your boxes together and saving you and the buyer a little bit of money on shipping. So I guess this is turning into a shipping video. I packaged up these Dominoes in a regional rate A box because after all it comes out to weighing 2 pounds, 8 ounces, and the regional rate A box shipped at a 2-pound rate. So it was a perfect fit for the Dominoes. I just added a little bit of packing paper in there because you can't modify these boxes at all. So I went to eBay. Let me cover up any personal information here. I went to eBay and I entered it all in, and it's going to cost me $15.27 to use just regular priority mail. But as I'm scrolling down, 2 hands here, turn you away so you can't see any information. Whenever I scroll down, eBay doesn't give me the option for the regional rate A box. They give me the option for the regional rate B box, and it still would be cheaper to put it in a medium flat rate box. So I had to move on over to pirateship.com, where a priority mail regional rate A box is going to cost me $12.10 compared to eBay's $15.27. So again, just have a plethora of boxes and figure out the right one. Alright, so I figured I'd talk about the momentum board real fast here for March. It's eBay madness, baby. March Madness. Anyway, figured I'd talk about it a little bit. I'm aiming to hopefully have a yard sale on the 20th and the 21st. 20th I'm off. 21st I'll have to cut it like short because I have to go to work. So listing this month I think is going to be down a little bit compared to February. On Thursday and Friday this week I won't be able to list anything because I will be out of town visiting my parents and grandparents. And then on Saturday, I'm actually leaving, so I'll be making a 3-hour drive home and then going straight to work right after that. So I'm probably going to be tired and not list anything that day either. Which means for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I didn't list anything today because I was packing up orders. For Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'd like to hit 7 listings each. I would like to have 21 listings a week, ideally, because that was the plan coming into the momentum board, at least 3 listings a day. So, ideally 7 listings each day would make me a happy camper. I've got all of the second week of March to list. And then, really, probably Sundays aren't going to be much of a listing day, to be honest, because I'll be packing up orders from the weekend. Depends how heavy the load is. And then, honestly, I probably won't list any of the 17th, 18th, or 19th, especially not the 19th, because I'll be prepping stuff for a yard sale to kind of clear out some inventory and make space for the upcoming yard sale rush. So the goal for the yard sale, kind of to plan it out and talk about it, isn't necessarily to make full price that I'm asking on eBay. I just want to move some stuff out, clear up some space. Like if I could get rid of just not even half of this, I'd have a lot more space for the spring rush. I'm not going to put like my high-end items out there. I'm not going to put the Lego board game out there because somebody will want to pay like $5 for it and then they just won't buy it. It'll end up sitting there. The stuff that I would ask full-on price for. So yeah, the goal for the yard sale isn't necessarily to make full price, just make a little bit back and clear out some space. Because everything from 2019 is paid for, obviously. And honestly, everything from 2020 is already paid for because of the big sales that I've had. So that's the plan going forward. So if I had to guess on the board, definitely these 2 days, probably no listing because I'll be labeling stuff or trying to price stuff out at an appropriate rate. Sundays, if I had to guess, I'm going to do this lightly because I'll probably erase it. Won't have any listing going on either. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 days to list. And if I do 3 listings a day for 20 days, that's 60 listings. So not quite as high, but there's going to be some days that I list more than 3 things, and there's going to be some days that I probably only list 1 or 2 things. It fluctuates. Who knows? So anyway, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'm just going to upload it on like Wednesday, even though it's only Sunday. Hey everybody, it is now Sunday night. I believe the day is March 9th, and I know I said I was going to upload this video on Wednesday. It didn't happen, but that's why we're here right now. So like I said, I went home this weekend, went and saw my parents, went to my grandma's house, and then on Saturday, I drove the 3 hours back and then went to work, was dead exhausted. So my plan was to list stuff on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and unfortunately, that ended up not coming true. I was just really tired coming home from work those days, and Wednesday ended up packing and stuff mostly. So there just wasn't really much time to list, but Monday and Tuesday I was just super tired and just really wanted to sit down after petting my dog a little bit and stuff like that. So unfortunately didn't list anything last week, but that's okay. We got this whole week lined up to list stuff before we start prepping for that yard sale, but I still need to call and double check and make sure that I can do. Anywho, where can I go from here? So yeah, we're going to do more. I had a really... granted, my weekend was pretty extended, but I had a really good weekend. Have 11 things that I need to pull. I think it's 9 total orders, 11 items. So I got to pull that. We're going to do that, and I'll do some more packing stuff. We'll just make this a packing video, and we're going to start off with something that I feel dumb for just now figuring out, but I found it out today. So I'm sure everybody and their dog already knows this, but I just found it out today. I'm a little slow at some of this stuff. So anyway, I found my box cutter, my good one, my Scotch one, and not my little crappy Walmart one that I found to replace it because I couldn't find this one. But I really remember whenever I started using this one, I remember this one was really dull and this one was cutting like butter. And I know the blades have these little grooves on them because I know you can snap them off. I've just never been wise enough to figure out how. I was just going to go grab a pair of pliers that I have and just snap it off. But I learned today that it's already built in to the knife, and every knife has this. I can assure you with this thing too. So on the bottom of all these blades is a little groove, right? So what you can do is you can pop this off. Let me figure out how here. You pop this piece off and you have this little groove. You push your knife out to where the line is and you line it up. And then you take the blade and you put it in this groove, and then you just carefully snap it off. Like, how neat is that? It's built into every single one of these. Like, who knew? I feel so slow about this. And you guys could be laughing like, of course, that's how they've always worked. That's how they always will work. And I just feel dumb. And of course, you find them and you safely dispose them so you don't hurt yourself or somebody else later. Safely dispose them. Alright, so the first thing we're going to pull sold off of Facebook. And yes, it is finally time to pull. After 1 week, the Lego Creator The Race to Build It board game from 1999. I joined a Lego collecting Facebook group and put this in there at $45 free ship, and it sold pretty quickly. The reason why I sold it at $45, I had it listed at $50 on eBay. If I would have sold it on eBay, they would have taken $5 in fees anyway. So pretty much the same thing there. I had it at $50 for like a day, and nobody cared, and I relisted it at $45. I was like, you know what, let's drop it $5 and see what happens, and it happened. So yeah, $45 for that. 8 into 45 is pretty good. Alright, first up on eBay on the extended weekend is a golf cover that I bought. It is this one right here, the Nike VR Pro wood cover. And this sold for $8 with free shipping. So not a lot of profit there, but more than $2. Sold some more Star Wars soap. One guy bought 3 things. He bought this Chewbacca bottle that is full, as well as the Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker bar soaps. Let me pull these out in the light here. Oh, well, Chewie's head's gone. Use 2 hands. So we got the Chewbacca bottle and 2 things of soap. And what I'm going to do, because I have this one other bar of soap in here, it's for Yoda, but you can't really, it's hard to tell, but Yoda's all crumpled up in there and not looking real good. I'm just going to throw this in the box and give it to him, and put a little note in there saying, hey, had this one, figured I'd throw it in too. I never listed it. And altogether he paid $23 plus $2 shipping. I had all the bottles listed at $8 with $2 shipping on it, just as like a cover, since some of these were empty and some of these were full. This one is full, and I'll show you how I pack him up later. So $23 plus $2 shipping, $25 total. Alright, up next we sold this keyboard. This brand is NMB. Model number is right there, RT2358TW for Microsoft Windows 95. Shoutouts to Scott Murphy. And this sold for $9.94 plus shipping. Up next we have a video game, and this one is, I think it's this one. I'm going to have to double check. Now I'm worried. Yes, it is Prince of Persia Warrior Within for the original Xbox, and this sold for $4.94 with free shipping, so not a lot of profit there, but all it's going to take to pack this up is throw it in a little bubble mailer and send it on its way. And I'm okay with small profits when they're very easy to list, don't take up a lot of space, and are very easy to pack. Alrighty, going to have to do a little maneuvering down here, because I sold a hat. My hat bin fits perfectly under my shelf. It wasn't a very expensive hat, but it is a hat. There we go. It is this Kmart Kids Race Against Drugs hat. Kmart competitor. The only big problem with it was Tony Stark apparently, wrote his name on the inside of the hat. That kind of killed the value on it. I think this was like a $15 to $18 hat, but I had to sell it for $4.94 plus shipping. Up next is something I can't believe happened on eBay. And that is, I sold another Kool-Aid Man. We are now, I think this is my 4th or 5th one. I've already lost track. They pull out an extra one that's in really peak form. No. There we go. This is the one. So the little Kool-Aid Man, as I mentioned, I sold a bunch of these, or I bought a bunch of these for $3, and I've been selling them for $5 a piece plus shipping. And this one is actually going out to a viewer, my first viewer sale. Really happy about that. Let me find the message here. So yeah, this little Kool-Aid guy is going out to Dave, who says, Lucas, really enjoy your YouTube channel. I'll be putting this up somewhere in my eBay room to bring good luck and sales. So Dave, thank you so much for buying this. Really appreciate it, and I hope it brings you the best of luck in your sales. All right, going into this little green goodie box, we sold the... This is going to be a little interesting to get out of here without tangling them up on something. This is where I cut the video. Alright, I sold these Fieldcrest electric blanket warmers. This is a dual one that's attached together. Like I said, when I got these, there were some listings of these for like $40, but nobody was really biting, and I matched the lowest listed one at $14.94 plus shipping, and that's what they sold for. I paid $4 for these at a Goodwill, so really happy with that. All right, and last but not least, we're heading back to the old reliable Nerf bucket, and we sold this 10-round clip that's got a little curve to it, and this sold for $8.94 with free shipping. So with hats, I don't like to put them in bubble mailers unless the hat is completely destroyed, completely flat, has no shape to it. I would never think about putting a hat in a bubble mailer. So what I've been doing is I've been using these priority mailing box 4s. They measure 7 by 7 by 6, and I always put shipping on all my hats. And why I don't care to do this is they pay, you know, somewhere between $3 and $5 to ship the hat, and then I put it in the priority mailbox. It cost me a little around, what, $7 because it's still pretty lightweight. So it's basically me giving them free shipping at this point to use the priority mailing box. And with these, generally the hats fit in them pretty well. They don't need much protection because once they're in there, they're pretty snug in there and don't have a lot of room to move anyway. But this time I actually found a box that I happen to have that will fit the hat, and this one's in not the best shape. It's kind of losing its shape, so it'll slide right in here, and all I'll probably do to make sure it doesn't move around, because the box is a little bigger, is use a piece of the packing paper that I have. So yeah, normally I use these, but this time I'm gonna use this. How crazy. So I'm here shipping the blanket warmers. It ends up weighing 1 pound 9 ounces in this 7 by 7 by 6 box. Unfortunately, whenever I did eBay, I charged them first class shipping instead of priority. I said it only weighed like 12 ounces because I'm dumb. So I only charged them $5.75. On eBay, it's going to cost me $10.85 to ship, but let me hold you down so I can't show any addresses. If we go to Pirate Ship, I'm terrible at controlling the mouse with my left hand. It goes priority mail cubic for $9.56, which is a big deal considering I only charged them for $5.75 to ship this. So saving a little bit money that way. If something feels off, always take a second look at Pirate Ship and see what their rates are. All right, for the soaps, like I said, this guy is pretty full. So altogether, this stuff ends up weighing about 1.5 pounds. By the time I add packing materials in a box, it's going to weigh really close to 2 pounds. So I'm going to use this regional rate A box, mainly because it's the perfect size. And this will ship at a 2 pound rate even if it goes over 2 pounds. So that's really neat. We're going to use that. But I'm going to show you how I pack up this soap bottle. Like I said, he's pretty full. So let me change the camera angle. So first up, we're going to give him a single sheet of bubble wrap. Nothing too crazy. Just something to kind of cushion him. Actually, we're going to give him 2. Mainly for the base, because the base is where these things tend to crack. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take him, and we're going to slide him to a Ziploc bag, because we do not want him busting open at all. And I think Chewbacca here is a little bit longer than Vader, which is the other really long one. So we're going to try and get as much air out of this as possible, and then pretty much just wrap it tightly around him. That is an extra safety measure we're going to take and put him inside of a bubble mailer. I'm not going to seal this up yet because I want to make sure this is still going to fit in this box, because I'm thinking, yeah, we might have run into an issue here. Let me rethink this. So I've ended up foregoing the bubble mailer altogether because it is just too long for this box to get it in there without putting too much pressure on it, which might cause him to crack. So I've just elected to leave him in there in the Ziploc bag and put in some paper to kind of hold him in place because we don't want him shifting around too much. And yeah, so looking really good there. All right, and with the soaps, I've given them each their own little piece of bubble wrap here, and we'll just kind of find a good way to tuck them in where they're not too high up against the box, because we don't want their little flaps up here. As you can see, kind of, their flaps are already a little slanted. We don't want them to be too mashed, so I'll probably have to rework some of the paper a little bit, but this will all fit in here comfortably. We just want to make sure these soaps don't get cracked or chipped and look like Yoda at all. So yeah, all in all, this box actually only ends up weighing 1 pound 15 ounces, really close to that 2 pound mark, but like I said, not too much harm lost using the Regional Rate A box. It all fits in there nicely, everything's comfortable, and I think it'll arrive pretty safe. On the other side of things, I forgot to show the screen while I was doing this, but the soaps, if I would have shipped in a normal priority box, would have cost $9.56, but instead I paid $10.42 because I used a Regional Rate A box. I thought I was going to save money or not lose near as much, but turned out to be a whole dollar, so you win some, you lose some, I guess. So this is an actual very convenient video for this keyboard to sell. As you can see, I've wrapped it up in bubble wrap and got it taped down, but unfortunately when I put it in the priority mailbox, it's just too big. You could probably just slap something like that, but what we're going to do is we got it in the 1095, we're going to grab the 1092, and we're just going to slide it over, slide it in, push it all the way down, and there we go. And we'll just tape around the end of it here. This one actually is very, very conveniently sized, so we'll just tape that up here. One thing I could do, because I don't need so much space, is I could really probably cut this box off at like 3/4 and save some of the weight on the cardboard. But I actually like having this extra bit of cardboard in here because I feel like it double walls, it makes it a little bit sturdier, and since keyboards are kind of fragile, I actually really like how that ends up giving it a little bit more support. So that's why I'm not cutting down this box at all. I almost shot myself in the foot with this one. The bubble wrap on it is pretty thick, so it was really a tight squeeze getting this box over the top of the other one, but by God, we did it. So now we just flip up the flaps and throw some tape around it, and this one will be good to go. All right, ladies and gents, here we go. First, we've got the Lego board game, followed by the keyboard. Then we have the hat. Then we have the soaps. Then we have the blanket warmers. The Nerf magazine is just in a bubble mailer. The video game is just in a bubble mailer. The Kool-Aid guy is in a bubble mailer and has a little note for Dave in there. And then the golf club cover, I was going to put in a bubble mailer, but honestly I didn't see any need for that, so it is just inside of a standard poly bag. So there we go. That's the extended, for me anyway, weekend sales, and that's how I pack them all up. Yeah, so the plan for this week is to just continue listing. Just get as much listing done as I can this week, because the next week there's not going to be a ton left. So yeah, I'm not going to promise a video, but hopefully I have another video out this week about something I do, and then another video for the yard sale, instead of having like a 2-week gap for a video on that. So that's the upcoming plan. I'm actually going to end the video here this time. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click the like button. It really helps me out, as well as subscribe so you know the next time I release a video. So as always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next one.